it's like I'm gonna spit some real shit for y'all right now. It's like, look, like when you grow up in the trenches, it's like society treats you different, man. Like, look at you different. It's like, man, you coming from where we from, man, we rolling the come with you. Look, they treat you different when you from the trenches. Bitch, I didn't grow up in no burb, I grew up in the village. Tryna get that shit up off the curb, I turned it to a menace. I wasn't hanging around with no girls, bitch, I was hitting fences. Childhood trauma, take it back to about the age of 9. Gunshots sounding like fireworks on 4th of July. I told my sisters and cousins that we gon' be alright as long as we stay solid, protect each other through eerie nights. Childhood trauma, my mama, she worked a 9 to 5. Still managed to come home and feed us when it was dinner time. Still managed to curve on the visas up in the winter time. So back to school, we was popping like the beginning times. I won't let this childhood trauma.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Keilah and Skipp show. Here this evening, I want to first give a shout out that I'm so grateful to be alive and well. So all honor and praise due to God. I appreciate being alive and well. I also want to shout out Sister Heron for her steadfast commitment, Gang Talk Radio. Even though this is the Keilah and Skipp show, she gave me my first break. So that's why I'm here helping Keilah. And as you can see, Keilah is not here today. I don't know. I hope one of them dogs didn't bite her, but she'll be all right. You know, she got it. She good. So today, one of the things that conversation's been going on, I got a partner, Bandit. He's not here right now either. And he talks so highly about my guy, Ron. And then I got Ron, Second Call. He's a part of Second Call. He's down there with Fagan and Big John and them, and he's probably moments away from being the next electrician, come off of Crenshaw Boulevard. And he talks highly about Bandit. So I said to Munchie B, come on down, man, and let's have this conversation. Also got TN in the house. He just, I don't know, I'll turn my phone on him or something, but he just ain't the one to get on the camera like that. So let me start. Introduce yourself, my brother Munchie. Tell the people who you are, man. I'm going to tell you, man, you told me something, too, a couple years ago when I did that interview with you and Little AD. You said this is going to be your hottest interview. And it's number 2. It is. It's number 2.
Who number 1?
The Florencias in the East Coast when they came together.
Sure, that's good.
Yeah.
No, well, shit. I'm from Inglewood. My name Munchie B. You know, shit. Father, do music. You know what I mean? On my section, just, you know, regular.
Regular digger.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Right. Appreciate you for always showing up, my brother.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What's your name, young fella, man? Tell about yourself, man.
My name Ron. Everybody call me Ron out the Crenshaw district. Formerly from 60s, known as Ron. I'm out here trying to push before it's right, man. You know, I'm working. I did almost 30 years in prison. Got out. And I'm just blessed. I'm grateful, man.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate you, good brother. I appreciate you being here. I'm trying to see if I can find this on live real quick. Oh, yeah, got it right here. All right. Well, look, man. So while we waiting on Bandit, let's talk about, brother, how you know Bandit, Ron?
Well, I really knew Bandit from jail. But growing up as a kid, you know, I heard about him. You know, I heard about him and who he was and what he'd done and all that, you know. So when I put the face with the name, I mean, at first, he was real, you know, at one point, it was like, Bandit was like one of them dudes that won't talk to no Crips or something, man. And that's what I got.
Right.
And I was young, you know, I was 18 when I went to jail, so I was in my ism too, but at the same time, you know, I deal with people as men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I first met Bandit, we played basketball on the basketball court. And we used to play each other all the time, and then it went to, he used to do the squares for football. So I used to hook up with him, you know, playing the squares.
Right.
Then I had got a visit one time, and one of my homegirls came to visit me. 2 of my homegirls came to visit me. And as soon as the visit over, Bandit came to me like, man, that girl fine, man. What's her name? I want to hook up with her. and that's how we really started talking and stuff, and that's how it was, you know.
Yes, sir.
It ended
Yes,
up being
sir.
cool.
Yes, sir. And raised in Inglewood, brother. Brother Munchie, man. How'd you meet Bandit, man? Was it like, in the hood one day, or shit, function? What?
Nah, I met Bandit on the yard.
Oh,
I met him.
right.
I met. Yeah, but I'm one of the few of my age bracket that knew he was Big Bandit. Then the Little Bandit wasn't Big Bandit because everybody thought, Little
Mike.
Bandit. He
Michael, yeah.
Yeah, Little Mama husband. So
Yeah.
I
'Cause
met
he
him.
a solid dude, so both of them solid. So yeah, a lot of
exactly,
people thought, Michael was Big Bandit, but
Yeah,
And his brother E-Rock.
yeah,
His brother E-Rock. I went to Overright with E-Rock and Lil Bandit.
I met him in Ironwood. He was in Ironwood and shit. He had all day at the time, like Ron did. So I met him right there in the yard and shit. He was blessed to touch down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right,
I
real
think
good,
on that
man.
same yard, Baby Ron was on.
Yeah,
'Cause I
yeah,
the
he
Ron
was.
was messed up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So look, in the penitentiary, man, we not tripping or what? What is it, man?
Nah.
Tell me.
Well, penitentiary is more or less. You got your sections. You know what I'm saying. You got the blood card, the crib card. You got the Bay Area card. You got the Serranos and Norteños. You got whatever the others, which is the Asians and Samoans and all that. But within the card, like say the crib card, whether you want to say, you got what they call the neighborhoods, the Hoover card, the Hub and the Dove, Compton Watts, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So it's all chopped up, but everybody got along. Everything was cool. Like on the level 4s, when I got to level 4, first person looked out for me was a dude from H-Ray Gangster.
All
He
right.
looked out for me decent, man.
Right.
And old folks, I was on the same road with him, and he brought me a bag full. I'm like, damn.
Right.
That's when I was like, well, shit, why is he looking out for me? But I wasn't able to really talk to none of my homies at the time because I was on Fish Row. And, Fish Row was like orientation or whatever. So, yeah, they looked out for me, man.
Well, what reception was you at? What reception center?
I went to Wasco.
Moscow.
Yeah, I was in Wasco. Then I went to Old Folsom. Well, New Folsom to Old Folsom.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's how it is, man. I was just explaining that to my kids, man, that, shit, last time I was in jail, I was telling them who my pinochle partner was. My pinochle partner put me on the phone with all my homies was a dude named Lil Headache from Harlem.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, Chris, thinking like, man, when I came home and they said, man, that dude has been over here. He did this, he did that. I'm like, nah, we just eating together. We pinochle partners and all that, but sometimes the street is different, man. Tell me why the streets is different. Why would Inglewood be different if you on the yard with these dudes, Munchie? Why would it be different?
Because of the politics, all the different groups, like you said, racial. It's hella racial. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But when you're young, you go into the prison system. You got to coexist, but you might not communicate. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Unless you get a little bit older and then mature or whatever. So that's how more so I was. I coexist. Because, that's how you got a program, but the communication, I wasn't really with at that time, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Nah, that wasn't the time. Not for me, though. The clock wasn't clicking right then. But
Right. When did the clock start ticking?
oh, shit, it's different for different people. You gotta
No, I'm talking about for you. When did it start ticking for you when you said, man, this shit ain't cool? When you, or I ain't gonna say it ain't cool, but like you could make a difference. When did that
I know I start being. I'm cool with certain people from other side of the different tracks, cause different situations or whatever, or mutual respect.
Right.
Like it's certain people from, like every opposition, so to say, I'm cool with just based on little different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Whether we went to school with each other, had it out, then we got respect for each other after that, or we played football together coming up, or it be different reasons, but. Like with me, it's just like, I guess it's maturity, though, as years went on or whatever, you know what I mean?
Hey, look, man, so I went to Money Mike funeral. I seen you there, Ron. So let me tell you who had me hemmed up, man, trying to get the Munchie. Mad Dog. Like, Alex. He like, hey, Skip, where he at, man? Get him on the phone. So I'm thinking, why, man? He said, man, me and F-Bone raised that dude in football, man. We did this and that. We was his coaches. So I was like, damn, put him on the phone with Mad Dog. And see, that's what a lot of people don't understand is that, man, the history of us being black in South L.A., we like maybe, 2-3 people from being connected. You know what I mean? So you got individuals like that as well that, you know, growing up, you know, on the other, just cross the street on the other side or whatever, but you grew up with them and you good.
Kick ass from CPF. Grew up with him.
Right.
Grew up with him from kids. His brother is my big homie Knuckles.
Okay.
But kick ass, like I said, it's a few people. Let me see. Kick ass is the main one. But I can't even remember a lot of them, but I'm cordial with, you know what I'm saying? I was cordial with, because I'm not the type of person, I wasn't the type of person that just trip on somebody just because of where you from. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that, unless you extra out and you want to be, then I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to meet your energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you cool, you cool. You know what I'm saying? I've always been like that. Like, I grew up with a couple Hoover cats. You know, that I know from, I used to be at my cousin's house on 76 in Vermont, my cousin Reggie, and he had a friend named George. His name's Silent from Five Dudes. One of my good friends, and he had a brother named Butch Man. He was cool. So I grew up with a lot of different people. A-Trey's little schoolboy from A-Trey. It's just a lot of different people, man, that's super cool that, you know, we call ops or whatever, but I have my personal relationship with people.
Yeah.
It was more than it was Mad Dog, Big D, F Bone.
That was my guy, Big D.
CJ Mack. He wasn't coaching, but his son was on our team.
Yeah. So what was y'all? Was y'all in Gardena at that park?
Yeah, Rosecrans Park.
My son Jonathan was up there too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's Mac Deuce from 135, but I had him playing for a year up there. I used to be up there talking to all them. All did you just name?
From everywhere, man.
I got 12 kids, man.
You got a basketball, you got a football team plus an archery. Yeah, for sure. You got,
man.
So shit, man, yeah. But man, that's what a lot of people don't even understand, man, is that you know, in LA, man, we've been connected some way, somehow, whatever. So how do we bring it all together, man? How do we you know, say that's it, man? I'd like to say that's it. The war is over. But I can't do it. I can't walk on Slauson and Crenshaw and say, hey, look, y'all listen. I can't do it on Manchester and Crenshaw. Or shit, I can't do it at Centinela Park. I can't do it in the Mafias. I can't say, look, it's over, but I want to. How do I do it?
Nah, I told you when I was hollering at AD, you got to start with the fixable hoods, though. You know what I mean? Like, I told you, like, the Lane and the Inglewood Family thing is, like, pretty much obsolete, unless a couple people hold some grudges or whatever, but it's like this fixable shit, B-Boss and A9 Swans, you know what I'm saying? Right. It would be like the fixable shit then, because a lot of that shit close to impossible. I never thought the East Coasters and the Florences would do their thing, but you know a lot of this shit. But you know, the fixable shit. You know what I mean?
Right. So yeah, you're right. The fixable shit, but what is fixable? Because you just said bebop and the 8-9s, man. I don't know. Fixable. That don't sound fixable to me.
I can't speak for the Crips though. So, but Villain and Peblos, they toxic. But you know, I need to talk to some of them, and they got love there still when they speak at each other. You know what I mean?
I know.
Unless you go too young. If you go too young with the names, and it's crazy. Then.
Yeah, I know dudes who got Peblo and Villains tattooed on their bodies. Got both tattooed because that's how old they were. But yeah, they done sat down and met a couple times. The Villains and Peblos done sat down and met, but then it's like, you know, it's still animosity. It's not killing. It ain't running across the street shooting each other, but it's still animosity. And the same with, you know, man, I'm going to tell you, I just left the funeral for the young girls, Marnisha and Brianna, right? Mm-hmm. And I had the opportunity to talk to the mob, and man, it was a productive talk. They said, you know, just to put it out there, they said, hey, let us talk with each other. And I said, man, I'm going to treat y'all to dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever. Let's just talk with each other about, you know, that. Not necessarily sit down with the looters or whatever right now, but, you know, so it looked like there might be an ability to start a conversation. You know what I mean? That sounds fixable, but it's going to take.
Lotus seem like the most impossible one. I mean, treetop and Fruit Town, all that. I think that's more so.
That seems impossible to me, man.
Huh?
The Treetop and Fruit Town, man. I
think that's better. That's more fixable than Lotus and Mob, though.
Right. So the whole idea is so that we could live, man. So look, and you know, it's not a lot of you know, I was listening to Tiny Nut earlier. It's not a lot of Crips in Inglewood that got animosity and beef. They're not coming every day to any neighborhood. That sound fixable. That sound fixable with the legends, IVCs.
I don't know about the legends. I don't know because they got a higher power to answer to now since they joined the neighborhood corps. You know what I mean? So now they go get frowned upon. They do some shit like that. So I don't think with them, but probably some any other Inglewood Crip hood maybe. But the legends it's past the Inglewood Crip thing now. Now you know what I'm saying?
Right. Now they part of something bigger than that.
You got a double affiliation. So after that, you got to answer to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so just looking to see, man, how we could bring peace, man. Is there anything you thinking, Ron, that could bring peace to some of these, because you just think about this, man, the funeral I said I went to, man, 4 people, all of them under 25, killed at one time. And then I'm going to tell you there was somebody very powerful from the city of Inglewood last night in one of the social medias said that Compton gang members had a party in Inglewood. And I'm like, wow, just to put everybody in that category when they victims of homicide. So I would never call somebody's child a gang member. And then one of the dudes didn't even hang in Compton at all, period, and wasn't a part of that. And the other little dude was young, but he lived in Gardena. Yeah, he hung out with dudes in Compton, but he come out of Gardena. So what can we do, man, to make sure that don't happen again? How can we stop that? How can we fix that?
I think people think Inglewood. I got an Airbnb in Inglewood. I think they got the green grass fucked up. I think they just think like, you know what I mean. They don't know
like
that
they
they go down to Inglewood.
or
Right. That it ain't the place to just get an Airbnb at and throw a party though. So like,
well, shit. If you come off one of them small streets in Compton, one of them skinny streets where there's 100 people living on one block, and you get a house, an Airbnb in Inglewood. Man, that is green grass. Bro.
No. For a group of gang members to have a party in Inglewood, and they probably ignorant to the west side, they just know about Compton, then they kind of like
They lost.
Right. They don't know this way is it's the legends, this way the 60s, that way you know what I'm saying? They don't know the geographics and shit. Right. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't. They think Inglewood is just. They moving on up, moving to Inglewood. That ain't what it is.
Just like we had a funeral like last year, maybe almost 2 years ago in the Swans. We just didn't feel like it because one of my homeboy's uncle, which he was the homie, the big homie Kenyatta, he passed away, but he had he belonged to a church in Swan Hood, right off San Pedro, like 84th or something like that.
Oh, that's their block.
So what they did was they went to the Swans and asked them and told them out of respect that we're gonna have a funeral here. Is it cool? And the Swans respected that, and we had the funeral there. So I think it's more or less of some sort of communication. You would have to communicate with somebody that has a voice. Right. You know what I'm saying? And be like, well, let me talk to such and such and see if it's cool before you can just say, well, I'm gonna get an Airbnb over here in Inglewood. Let me talk to somebody from the CPFs over here to see if it's cool to give one if I give a party and a few people come, so they'll know this is our folks or something. You got to communicate with people. You just can't get an Airbnb, or you just can't just have a party somewhere without notifying somebody, man. Because to me, it would be a sort of disrespect because you bring another entity in somebody else's hood having a party. And they don't know what's going on, so they're going to be like, who is these people? Whoop, whoop, whoop. And it just leads to other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think communication is something that everybody need in their hoods, just like for peace. Yeah, look at Dr. King. He did it. He did the impossible. He brought people together. Right. So, I mean, it's possible, but you got to have the right person that's respected to go out there and talk, man. Right. That's what I think. Because you gotta speak the language they understand. You just can't talk to these people, man, and be like da 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 da. You gotta speak the language they understand so they can, like in prison. You gotta speak the language they understand, man. Right. Like these youngsters, you gotta speak the language they understand. If they speak in one way, you gotta be able to speak their language so they can really feel what you're saying. Cause that's the only way that you're gonna penetrate them to really listen to you. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's how, with me, you have to speak my language, man. I don't understand. What?
Hey, look, and something you just said, man. So yesterday that funeral was in Long Beach. It was right there on Martin Luther King in New York, which is the heart and soul of the Insanes.
See?
And so the Insanes came out, Rolling 20s came out, and the North Long Beach Carmelitas, the Boulevards, came out as well. And all of them stood on the corner and said, man, y'all straight. Y'all good. Don't even trip. Man, that was a good feeling, reaching out and want to say what's up to Blue and Beefy Loke out there, man. They, they made sure it happened for us. So
You talking Beefy from 20s?
yeah, no, he from Insane.
Is he from Insane or 20s?
The dark skin short.
I think it's a Beefy from. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, man, that there was an impact on everybody. That impacted me, man, when that happened, bro. I was like, wow, that's messed up, man.
And that's a good thing to say, man. Like, am I so cold and callous that I'm out here that when something like that happened, do I feel it?
Yeah.
And does it impact me, even though that's not my neighborhood or that's not my daughter or not my baby mama?
I heard the shots from my house.
Right.
I literally heard it. Like, damn, what the hell?
Right.
I thought it was firecrackers, man.
Right.
But it's just, that impacted me because, that shouldn't have happened. Them girls and that was family in that house, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and then one of the dudes was my bro, Lamont, Baby Waco, that was his cousin that died in that house. I mean, he died in the hospital, but he was shot in that house too.
Right.
So it was like,
You're talking about Tehran.
yeah, he
Because I think Jaden died immediately.
Yeah,
he was the first one.
he died, man. And it's like, I felt him. Even when the family came to second call.
Right.
I felt that, man. That was a sad night.
Yes, indeed.
Because that was a day after? They came, a day or two after?
No, that was a Thursday night that happened that Saturday.
So it was like 3 or 4 days. That's still new as none.
Right.
You know
And
what I'm
man,
saying?
and a shout out to them because I'm going to tell y'all that Saturday night when it happened, Jaden's father, Jerome, had called my homeboy Hob. Hob called me, so I'm calling everybody. Matter of fact, I think I text Munchie too, like, man, who was that? Who got killed and what happened, right? And so I text my son. They said they Pyrus. I text my son, and he told me about the homegirl. He said, man, lady SK. And I said, no, it was a dude. And he wasn't even knowing that the dude that it was one of his friends. He had spent the night at his house. They was cool. He said, nah, just a girl, Lady SK and her sister. But the dudes are related. They cousins. And so they had a double funeral. And then the girls, the sisters, got the same mama. Yeah. They had a double funeral. Man, that's heartbreaking, man, to do that to any family. Yeah. And I don't condone the violence. That's why I do what I do.
I think Nuts' family was the one that opened their house to him, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he opened their house to him the next day when they was all out there.
Right.
That whole night, they opened their house to him like, man, because, that's shoot. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's a sad thing, man.
Yes,
but
indeed.
how to bring people together, like I said, man, it don't take a lot, but it takes a person that can really penetrate somebody. And like I say, it's all about speaking the language that they understand, man.
Right.
And then you have to lead by example, too. You got to be that dude that everybody respect.
So lead by example is like getting somebody from out of Crenshaw and Slauson to sit on a podcast with somebody come off of Manchester and Crenshaw. Well, is that a good example?
It's a great example, but this is for my personal growth too, though. This is for my personal growth because at the end of the day, I'm a grown man. I'm a man before anything else, so I want to be able to get along with everybody as a man. Right. I'm not, we are where we're from, and that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, we grown. We men. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to go wherever and be cool with everybody, and everybody know, oh, Ryan ain't on that shit, man. He cool as hell.
Yeah, that's a good feeling, brother.
Yeah, so
I experience it in most places. Not all places, but most places.
The homies, that's the homies. Yeah, they cool. I love them. Right. But we all individuals. We all grown individuals, and we all gotta want it ourselves.
Right.
We all gotta want it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't expect to be walking in with a pack of dudes going to somebody else's hood and trying to talk to somebody and this and that. I might be going somewhere with somebody else, but I'm like, okay, I can go over here because I got personal relationships with people and we on some grown man stuff.
Yeah, so I said it takes everybody go change on their own time. Because remember we brought up Baby Capone.
Right.
I'm like,
Hey, but look, man, I got to give a shout out to Baby Capone because when I started talking to him, he started texting me every morning. He said, man, I stopped smoking weed. I was telling him, I said, man, I want to make you a carpenter. I want to share with you how you can get about $38 an hour, you know what I mean, and full medical dental benefits. All you got to do is stop smoking weed. I got his attention. So, yep, he was with it, but you know, old shit caught up with him. He had to go to jail. So
And the squad just kept. There you go.
Oh, I'm gonna take a break. And we go hear that break music so Bandit can have a seat. Let's take about 1 minute if we can.
Look at Spit.
I ain't gonna lie, it's like I'ma spit some real shit for y'all right now. It's like look, like when you grow up in the trenches, it's like society treats you different, man. Like look at you different. It's like man, you coming from where we from, man. We were on the come with it. Look, they treat you different when you from the trenches. Bitch, I didn't grow up in no burb, I grew up in the village. Trying to get that shit up off the curb, I turned it to a menace. I wasn't hanging around with no girls, bitch, I was hitting fences. Childhood trauma, take it back to about the age of 9. Gunshots sounding like fireworks on 4th of July. I told my sisters and cousins that we gon' be alright as long as we stay solid, protect each other through eerie nights. Childhood trauma, my mama, she worked a 9 to 5. Still managed to come home and feed us when it was dinner time. Still managed to curve on the visas up in the winter time. So back to school, we was popping like the beginning times. I won't let this childhood trauma try to take me out. It made me who I am today, won't let it stress me out. But babe, I learned from my mistakes, I'ma go another route. Got some cake for a rainy day when it's another drop. Yeah, I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas are die trying to live this life, trying to build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it. I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas are die trying to live this life, trying to build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it. 100 rounds, 100 shots, aim it at your block. And twisties on your head and make it rock. And do the bomber clock, that's word to Allah, me father. If the drama fold, I swear they need to free my cousin Low. Boy, ain't never told, but I can't say the same for you niggas. Niggas really hoes, be running the same marathon for years. Niggas really slow, ain't really got that money like you saying. Niggas really broke, you niggas all in y'all feelings, y'all be hating. Niggas really fold, but I can't say the same for you niggas. Niggas really hoes, be running the same marathon for years. Niggas really slow, ain't really got that money like you saying. Niggas really broke, you niggas all in y'all feelings, y'all be hating. Niggas really fold. I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas are die trying to live this life, trying to build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it. I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled
All right,
on
so look, man, we back. You was giving shout out to the dude who looked spiffy as he walked in the room. We're going to turn the camera on him. Brother, what's your name, man? Share with the world who you are.
Man, I'm Tony Scott. Those that have been behind the wall with me know me as Keilah. Everybody else know me as Big Bandit.
Right, yes, sir. And you out of Inglewood, brother?
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
So listen, man, how did you meet Ron? Do you remember how you met him?
Absolutely. Where's we at? Lancaster? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lancaster. And back then we was two different individuals, you know. We was still with the bullshit, you know, and we was on the active yard, but shit, we was in a place where if you was real, you was gonna recognize who was real, you know. Mm-hmm. And in some instances, shit, it changed my perspective when them race riots start happening in the pen, you know. And then you see cats that you don't give a fuck about, that you bang against on the streets and even in the pen, but when it's active in there, y'all back to back with it, you know. And then after you experience something like that, you have a different respect, you know. It changed your perspective, you know. Yes, so we met behind the wall, and but I knew of him on the streets though, you know, because we part of the same era, you know. And you know who on the other side of Florence, you know what I'm saying? Just like they know who on the other side of Florence, and you checking, you know. Right. And his name was popping on the street, so when we got behind there, you know who is who. Right.
Well, he told a story about the visit, man. I want to know what she looked like.
When you seen the girl that you was like, man, she fine, man. Man, hook me up with her.
Hell yeah. He was like, that's my homegirl. Who was that, your homegirl?
That was my homegirl, yeah.
She was a baddie.
So look, man, y'all saying...
And I was going to a visit, too.
Yeah, he was going to a visit, yo.
Hey, look, so y'all the same era, and spent time in the pen, but was on the street at the same time, man. I believe this is probably a first. This is probably a first to have, and I hate to call out areas like this, but to have somebody from Inglewood family and somebody from Rolling 60s. And then every time I do something like this, people say, Albert, you ain't got the youngsters. You ain't got the youngsters. Well, let me just tell y'all, in this room, Tiny Nut is right here. And right beside me is Munchie B. I got the youngsters. Don't tell me I ain't got the youngsters.
For real.
So this is some, I'm blown away, man. Y'all interview each other. Shit, I don't know what to say, man. This is
all
powerful.
the questions, man. You got all the questions.
Hey, Bandit, you hooked my uncle up too. Speaking of visitors, you got my uncle. You hooked him up with a little female, didn't you?
Yeah, Kelsey.
She was little. She was little.
No, not a little. Hell
You know
no.
how we talk. Hell yeah, Kelsey,
brother.
Kelsey, that's the homie. That's Munch uncle, and he a little older than me, but he was out here when we was doing our thing, and shit, he been behind the wall all day. So yeah, I hooked him up with a little female and shit.
Y'all keep calling her little, man.
Yeah,
Show me a picture.
I was telling them about the squares. You used to do football squares every week.
Man, I used to do everything up in there, man. I was a hustler.
You did White Lightning too up in there?
Nah, that's what I didn't do. That was like low budget shit to me. I mean, I ain't knocking the homies that did. I mean, because a hustle was a hustle in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless you washing drawers, I don't advocate that.
Right.
But outside, no, it's people in there that do that though.
People
For
that
hustle?
wash clothes.
Yeah, it's people in there that.
I ain't been to no level 4.
He wash clothes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, well, I ain't been to the pen since '86,
Oh,
and back then you watched draws, man. You was gonna get DP when you come on.
Oh,
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's part
Shit
of
funny now, though. Shit funny now. Everything funny. In there, out here,
Never let nobody wash my clothes. I wash my own clothes in jail, man. I'm
sure.
like, man, I wash my own shit. I don't need to pay
I
nobody.
ain't never had
to wash my
nobody
shit.
ask me.
Man, that wouldn't really be bad on the nigga paying for it though. That's bad on the
The dude who doing
the
it.
one washing it, like hand suds in my drawers. That's out. Like
Yeah.
But it's some dudes in there that wash clothes, but they don't wash nobody drawers. I was just putting extras on it, but
Oh,
it
shit,
is
I'm-
people in
you
there
know
that
what?
wash
I'm
clothes
tripping.
though, and they iron your shit for $1 worth of soups
Hey,
and
look,
everything.
I'm tripping, man. I don't know what I'm thinking about. When I did a violation 2004, man, I worked the utility crew at North, so I was washing clothes, but we had them in a bag, just tie them up. And matter of fact, they go in a bag, and then we fold them and shit. Some dudes will get girls' drawers, get panties and shit, because we just put anything in there and just ship them, so it wasn't nothing personal.
But I think he's talking about at the sink.
Yeah, I
they
know.
at
He
the
talking
sink
about
busting
the sink.
suds like that ain't straight. No.
So what's happening? We gonna pop it about these streets or what,
Man, so what is it, man? I want to bring peace, man. How we gonna bring peace? We got the right people in the room, man. How we gonna bring peace?
Well, this is what I told him. I said, basically, you have to be able to speak the language these youngsters understand, man. You just can't come to speak in any old type of way about peace to these dudes. They ain't gonna receive it. But if you just speak the language they understand, I think it will penetrate them to where they would, and especially if you respect it and they look at you in a certain type of way, that they would respect that and gravitate to it, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And then, and then leading by example as well. You just don't say what we need to do and then you still with the bullshit at the end of the day. You gotta be either or. You can't straddle the fence. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we all work in progress at the table. I know I am. I'm a work in progress, and I've came a long way in my growth. So I can say that I can be cool with this guy right here and really mean it.
Oh no, we gonna take a picture. We gonna really mean it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it go viral tonight.
Yeah,
We
you know what
gonna
I'm saying? As
take
much
the
as I heard
pictures.
about him, it doesn't even matter. It's like who he is today.
Right.
I respect his banking. I respect all that, but who is he today as a man?
Right.
And that's what I respect more because he's a man. He's growing. He won't. That's what he won't. He won't change. He may not be all the way there, but he's getting there. And that's the push.
Yeah, process.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
And I
thing,
can't lie.
process.
When Nipsey died, when Nipsey got killed, and we was putting the thing together where we was gonna march and all that. The only thing that was in the back of my mind was, man, Munchie gonna fuck this up. Man, I'm gonna put this together. Munchie gonna tear it down. So for him to be sitting here right now, man, I'm really glad.
And I was proud of AD because AD came in there and said what he said and assured him.
I thought he was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he has some
Can't
other
catch
stuff,
him.
but Can't
Okay.
catch him.
We
I
got,
think, yeah.
Hey, one thing I do know about them streets, like I gave this a lot of thought. I'm not really all the way against gangs and what they represent. Because in them gangs, it's camaraderie, it's loyalty, it's dedication. It's like it's dudes with heart. You know what I'm saying? It's dudes that's couraged out the game, and there's some intelligent cats in there. You know, some creative cats. However, the only thing I'm saying is if you love your homie, love your homie. If you love your hood, love your hood. But change your directive though. You know what I'm saying? Change the way you direct your energy and shit. Instead of being out there popping at somebody. It's a trip, right? This analogy. Like a motherfucker that look like me will jump over a white boy, hide from the police, duck around some Asians just to shoot somebody that look like him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that we got to look at it and be able to explain it to the young homies. Like, if you gonna bang and you love the hood like that, buy some shit up in your hood.
Yep.
Because, you got to change the perspective. You got to be like, now they be like, if you don't slide for the homie, you a buster. You got to change it and be like, if you don't own no apartments in your hood, you a mark. Right. You know, if you ain't got no business in your hood, you a buster. Homie. If y'all hood don't own no liquor store that y'all go to, homie, then y'all hood really ain't popping like that. That's what you got to change, bro. You know, right. And the reason that it's active as fuck right now. It's hot, you know, on all sides from east to west. And the reason it's hot like that is because cats don't got shit to do. You know, cats don't got shit to do but look at distractions. And anything that's a distraction, they own it. Right. You know, and if cats has something to do and a little push behind them and somebody to support them, guess what? They'll be like, hey, homie, don't bring that shit over here, homie. You fucking up our bread, bro. Right. Hey, homie, don't come over here to the store, homie. This our store, homie. You come in here to buy shit and get shit, homie, but don't come out here hanging out, homie, and don't be hitting up behind the store neither. Right. And so, but cats don't own shit and they own turf. If you ain't got real estate in your own turf, then you really ain't popping it like that, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, no matter how many motherfuckers you busting on, because at the end of the day, the Rolling 60s ain't gonna never take out all the Inglewood families, and the Inglewood families ain't gonna never take out all the Rolling 60s neither. Right. 50 years didn't prove that. So, right. You know, where we going with it? What's the objective now? Right. You know?
50 years.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, what's the objective now?
For real.
You know?
And damn near 50 years. It's been 50 years.
They say a person that does the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expects a different outcome.
Insane.
That's the definition of insanity. Right. So this gang shit, it's insane. You know what I mean? It's 50 years and we doing the same old thing.
But think about it, man. So there are kids who are influencing other kids.
Right.
They are 23, 24-year-olds influencing the 13, 14-year-olds to continue the foolishness, the bullshit. Right. How do we get to them and let them know, man, that's it, it's over?
And this is where I'm trying to do with my foundation. I'm creating called Step Towards Change. My whole idea is to go into these schools and talk to these kids to try to save them. But it starts with grade school.
How, though?
Talking to them, giving them your story, man. Being a mentor to them, you know, doing something. I mean, if you could save 1 out of 10, you're doing something right. To me. Right. Sure, you may not be able to save the whole 10, but
I was at Locke High School. Matter of fact, I was part of a group that used to come up to the school when he went to school. I just didn't know him then.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker hit the streets and was wild, right? My own sons, they wild. But I was at the school at Locke, and I told this dude, I said, man, suppose I was your age, I'm coming to school, and my mama ain't been home 2-3 days. I got to feed my little brother and sisters, man, get them ready for school, and shit ain't right, and I don't know what's going on. He said, man, that's your business, man. Don't bring that to school. Don't. So, you know what I mean? So, in other words, it's like, man, whatever I'm going through, I can't talk about it. But what I can do is I can be tough. I can slap the shit out of somebody and be looked at as the man, or I could do something like that. So that's why I say, what's the message? Because I done seen, you know, see a man, be a man at Locke. Our second call was at Locke. I done been to schools in Rialto and Fontana, and I'm thinking to myself, man, what really is going to be that difference, that change, that step that you talking about, step to change?
Yeah.
What's that step?
You know what you just said, right? Acting tough. I got to come to, if you got to act tough, that's not good, man.
On the real though,
it's not good, man.
These cats nowadays, they not open to no message. No. You can't talk to them and tell them something. You got to show them something. Yeah. You got to show them something, and you got to give them something to do. So if I go swoop the homies up and be like, look, push with me over here, bro, and they push with me, and then I'll be like, look, this my little establishment, homie. You know, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, and I need y'all to help me. You know what I'm saying? If y'all need a little bread, I got a little bread for y'all, and then teach them how you got it. You know what I'm saying? Teach them how you got it, and that's the problem. Like, everybody's so separated now, right. You know, and like I remember back in the days when everybody was serving, they had these little cliques that came out. Third World, Whitey Enterprise, what was the other one? Ozone. Mm-hmm. Them was a group of cats that was gangbanging, you know, in 3 different turfs and shit.
So Whitey told me that the way he got everybody like that was he kept them fed. He said, Skip, they had money, so we never had to turn on nobody.
But they had something to do, though.
Bo did the same thing.
They had
Bo
something
the same
to do,
thing
though. They put them to work, though.
Yeah.
Back then, you could put them to work with work. Now you can't put them to work with work no more.
Right.
Now you got to put them to work with, like, look, homie, this how you start a business, dog.
Right.
Look, homie, this how you get your mama out of that reverse mortgage that's on your granny house, and y'all could get that shit back, dog.
Right.
You know, this how you take equity out your house. You know, this how you start an LLC.
Right. Okay. So that's intervention, though. I go back to what Ron talking about. He talking about the kids in the elementary and middle school. So what you talking about is great to for the homies that's 28, 32, all that, but. Hey man, come get on this thing, man. We're a tiny nut over here. And BG Knockout giving us props, man. BG, you going to come on here too, man. I'm going to bring a Pyro when I get you on.
So that's what I say about acting tough. Instead of acting tough, then you revert that to being smart now. Intelligent, smart, right. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to think for your own self and not letting nobody think for you, man. Don't let your emotions get involved in your better thinking and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Because all that do is going to send you to prison for a long time or get you killed, man.
See, that's why I was trying to go to the schools and holler at the kids, like, before that age, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not when you tass on your face.
Yeah, you went to the wrong school one time. I got the phone call. Munchie on Crenshaw and Slauson. You better come get him.
They said, I got 60 seconds to get out of school. I'm like, okay. So
like, yeah, man, I appreciate you, Munchie, but not that school.
No, but that age group, get to them first before, you know what I'm saying, they get a reputation and niggas ain't going to forgive. You know what I mean?
Right.
They might see me when I'm 60 or 55. They don't give a fuck. They go like, you know what I'm saying? It's up. You know what I mean?
You catch these kids at a young age, man, like these grade schools, and you catch them young, man. I think that's how you save them, man. I mean, we can do what we can for those that's in the streets and doing what they doing, but I think we need to try to save these little kids before they get involved.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. What's the conversation? Because I understand that conversation. Because my grandmother's house over off of Washington, man, worth about $1.3 million, and ain't no way I can get that back. She bought it for $30,000.
I think it's giving them no story of who you was in the past, or who you are today, and what you're doing, and how you came about your change. And once you do that, you show them.
I didn't change till I was 40 though.
58. And they can't glamorize this shit.
We never understood.
Yeah, because they'll glamorize it, man. Especially all the time you did, man. They gonna glamorize that.
But we never understood what change was when we was kids. All we knew was either we gonna bang or you gonna get the boot, or you gonna either be hard or you gonna be a buster. If you gonna be a buster, they gonna treat you like a buster.
But nobody ever say the negative side. They don't say when they go to jail, get their ass beat. Yeah. They tell about the stories they won.
Yeah. Oh, so the homie Syke from Swan, talking to my son, said, man, I'm tired of talking to you. Pulled his eye out. Said, look, man, I seen the bullet go through my mama's brains. I seen my mama get killed, and I got my eye shot out. My son still with the stupid shit. I took him to the other dude, Porky, off Kitchen. Yeah. Porky be breaking bones and get him in the body bag because, sometimes they die in their arms like that. Man, he still went to the left. So I'm saying, the story, because sometimes we glamorize. Or the story could be to the kid like, yeah, but that ain't going to happen to me. You know what I mean?
Well, you can try it. It don't hurt to try.
No, it don't hurt to try. I was trying to see what the conversation is, because I was going to take it and use it tomorrow.
We did our best in the streets doing what we did. So why we can't put our best foot forward into trying to change and help people, change the way they think and stuff, or change the community.
Yeah.
One thing I did learn though, going to the parole board, you got to tell them shit about yourself.
Right.
You got to tell them like what made you go left.
Right.
What type of family dynamic you came up in. What made you still get your time and get to the pen and still be a criminal. You know what I'm saying? What made you change? You got to tell them all that shit before they let you out of there. If you go, regardless of what kind of yard you parole from, you still got to go in there and do that. Right. So if you know that about yourself, then that's what you share with the young cats. Because you know, like one thing, a lot of homies, they'll tell you if they did a lot of time or they came to the realization of who they are, they'll be like, man, you know why I banged, homie? Because it was something missing in my life. Right. Like, it don't necessarily have to be like, oh, I done had two parents, because this motherfuckers with two parents that did their thing, you know? Mm-hmm. However, it's still something missing in their life. You know, they was chasing something, and it gotta be something missing in your life to make you think like, man, let me see if I could run across Florence and go strike up on the wall or go bust and then get back across the other side of Florence before they dump on me. It gotta be something missing in your shit, homie, and your thinking for you to even be entertained by that type of shit, and then grow to be excited about that type of shit. Right. You know, right. So you gotta find out who the targeted children are that's susceptible to that gang shit, and then you holler at them, and whatever you was missing, 9 times out of 10, they probably was missing something like that too, and they filled that void with the bang thing. You know? Right. That's why I got into banging. I got into banging because I wanted a family, you know what I'm saying? And mine wasn't big enough, and they wasn't popping enough. Right. You know, that's all I wanted was a family, and it's how ironic, you know? Right. How ironic. And, yes, and that shit really did kind of fill my void, but with the wrong shit though, you know? Right. But I wouldn't change that shit for the world, man. All the homies that I met, you know, the lessons that I learned, you know, and then to even make it full circle to meet somebody like this and some of his homies. I done had some of his homies slide me whole packs of straps and be like, look, homie, pass them to your homies, man, because it's about to go down, right, you know? Right. And that's the shit that changed my perspective. Like, I don't even talk to y'all like, and you hollering at me like this? Right, because it showed me that, like, they got a certain respect for you, you know? So it made me like, damn, you know, I reciprocated that shit. Hey, so look, this what I propose. This is what I propose. Not knocking nothing everybody else is doing, but I propose, man, we go out to Jerry's Deli or something. We go somewhere where the police be hot, like Torrance or something. Well, I know ain't nobody gonna bring no pistols. and let's sit down. Matter of fact, there's a spot called Joey's. I love Joey's, man. We go sit down at Joey's, and you bring 3 young homies, and y'all come, and we bring Firebug too, Tiny Nut, and we sit and just hold the same conversation. I'm gonna pay for the food. I'm gonna get on my phone and walk away. What's young homies? What you consider young homies? Shit, y'all young enough to me. I'm 58 years old, Munchie. So you and Tiny Nut, man. That's really the foundation. Yeah, that's young to me because I mean I ain't trying to talk to. And then shit trickle down anyway. Yeah, it trickle down. If your young homies see what you doing and they see that you real with it and you cool with it, it'll make them be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? But see, the thing is, them 14 and 15-year-olds is looking up to them. You know what I mean? That's why I need you to bring them. Right. You know, the honestly, my homies my age are probably younger. Them seeing me on a platform like this, it'll do something. It's either they gonna talk shit, they ain't gonna say it to me or whatever, but you know they gonna say whatever they say was within their little circles, or they go. A few ask me like what's up, like the AD shit. Well, I'm like, I was expecting something, you know what I'm saying, but I ain't really get it though. They're like, man, what's that? Confused though, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you doing? You the influence. But that's what I'm saying. Like them seeing me on platforms like this, that'd be like half-assed enough though. But I wouldn't want to drag nobody that don't want to be there. The first one to be on no fake shit. That's all I'm saying. Like, come on, just based on that, come on the strength of me, Bandit or Tiny Nut, just because we're like, come on, just roll, just like, and they just be sitting there like acting like they fake, picking at their food and shit. See, that's why I said you want to be genuine. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said Firebug, Tiny Nut, you. And Bandit, that's good enough for me. No, that's why when you said young, I want to know. I'm talking to Ron, so the same age group. Same age group. So I'm 32, that the young niggas.
Yeah, I mean, how do you? Probably can do that. I mean, you know.
But you'll be surprised how many cats would be with that if the right motherfuckers set the trend. You know? Right.
And you'll be surprised how many dudes outside that's from your neighborhood that mess with people.
Exactly. Look, they gonna be calling you, man. They gonna be calling you, Ron, like me, man. Let me go. They gonna be calling you because I want to make that happen, man. I found out it's a few homies that I know that fuck with certain other people that and they
Right.
don't
They don't
and that's
tell
just
nobody.
they little shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
They don't even
like,
say nothing to
Oh, you know,
nobody.
dude? Yeah, I fuck with dude. We used to stay in the same apartment and woo, woo, woo. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So look, I know I'm about to go over, man. I want to say before we end it, shout out to BG Knockout. He giving us props and just know BG Knockout, you next. I'm gonna grab you and a Pyru. Y'all gonna be sitting up here too, talking about how y'all been knowing each other since elementary school.
Go grab
But,
Compton Minutes.
Exactly.
Exactly. Minutes of
Yeah. But also, somebody on here asked me this. I don't start no foolishness or whatever, man, but they asked me about Draco. And I mean, it's important to me. Let me tell you why it's important to me. Because even though I don't appreciate the music that he did that was dissing people or whatever,
Right.
but at the same time, I don't want nobody dead. You know what I mean? So
Well,
they asking me to ask you. You know what I mean, Munchie? They asking me to ask you about.
Yeah, let them have that, man.
Yeah,
That's
they can have
let them
that.
have that, man.
I
like
just
whatever your opinion is,
they
just
rap.
have your
and
own
I just
opinion.
live my life.
Right, that's right.
That's all. I'm cool.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, look, Bandit, what you going to lead the people with, man?
I'm gonna introduce something new right now and use this platform if it's cool with you.
Yes, sir. Come on.
I got an organization, a nonprofit. It's called Hands Up, Guns Down. And you remember the team post back in the days?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bust it in Inglewood first, and we gonna recruit young cats off the street. You know what I'm saying? Who want something to do other than bang or be influenced by banging. So we gonna have boxing rings in there, and we gonna teach them squabbles. However, and strategies, but we're going to relate it to life strategies as well, you know, so they can know how to bob and weave and maneuver in real life, you know. Right. And we're going to have a chess program too. And what we're going to do, we're going to teach them how to play chess in the same principle. We're going to show them how those moves relate to like real life, you know,
Definitely.
so we can change.
Hey, we can
thinking.
see that going on right now with
Right.
Russia and Ukraine.
And so what I'm going to do is I want to start the first one in Inglewood. I'm going to start the first one in Inglewood, and then I want to reach out and holler at somebody else, you know,
Right.
they Trace, then somebody else. And then once the other hoods see that, they'll be like, fuck it, homie, you could get one over here too, homie.
Right.
And then how we'll do it is the youngsters, they'll squabble each other, you know what I'm saying, in weight class and age division, profession, I mean, you know, with the gloves and everything, you know, and it'll be like, they'll get the trophy, we got the trophy now, you know, and they'll keep it to the next bout. So
Hey,
That's tight.
Hey, let me tell you what's so crazy, man. What's his name from 9-0? Babu. Babu.
I know Babu.
So Babu telling me the same thing. He said, Skip, man, let's do a 50 and over boxing match, right? So I'm like, 50 and over. He said, yeah, man, me and you, we do a boxing match, and then we'll have, you know, everybody come out or whatever, and then they'll understand that we can do that.
Babu.
But okay, so listen, so I'm on Bisco and Rod Dog house, right? I'm sitting in the backyard and I'm telling him what he said or whatever. And this is when B-Rock was still alive, right? Mm-hmm. And B-Rock said, "Wait, who said that, Skip?" And I told him. He said, "Man, that dude, the Golden Gloves, man. He's setting you up, man. Don't
Hey,
fight that."
I was just
He
about.
said,
Hey, I
he
was
said,
just
"Man,
about
that
to say.
dude gonna run you around the ring, Skip. Man, don't do it, man."
I was
so I was like, "Man, yeah, I ain't even know that, man." He said he was knocking folks out and
Babu got a reputation in the pen for
Right.
getting up
So
in
he
there
tryna
with
sneak-
gloves
he
on,
tryna
with
sneak
big
stuff.
gloves,
Yeah,
he's trying to
and
he's
knocking
trying to
dudes.
sneak beat me up, man,
Yeah,
in front of
Babu-
everybody. I
Babu
was
was
like,
tight.
yeah, but it's a good idea, brother. Just got to be the right people. So
Right.
appreciate
it will
that.
Be. It will be.
Yeah, Ron, what you want to lead the people with, man?
I like that. I want to get involved with that.
You will be.
Yeah.
You could do the chapter over here on this side of Florence.
Right.
You know
Blue
what I'm saying?
Division.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to create this LLC, limited liability corporation called Step Towards Change. Like I was telling you before, yeah, it's I want to do prison reform, but I also want to do, you know, my whole thing is trying to talk to these kids and try to save some lives, man, with the kids. You know, but if it be going up to schools and talking to them and just trying to, you know, just catch a couple of them like that, then and then I could just move up to trying to go to these high schools, junior high schools, talking to the kids, man, and just letting them know that change is possible, man.
Right.
For the people that's already involved, change is possible, but for the people that's not involved, try to save them before they get themselves caught up in some things they don't really want to do, man. Because a lot of it be peer pressure, too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes be peer pressure. Then you got some dudes, they feel like they was neglected from family, you know what I'm saying? Right. And all this other stuff. So it's all about teaching the youth, just teaching them, man, what I know, what I've learned,
Yes,
and try to give it back like that, and involve myself more with my partner right here, what he's doing, and involve myself with him, whatever he's trying to do. I support it, I'm with it, because I'm an individual.
Right.
Like I say, it's cool, but we grown men first, so I won't change. So, in order to do that, I got to step outside the bubble.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So, and then hopefully when I step outside the bubble, other people will do it. I know a lot of my homies that's like Big U. Few people, man. Big D.
Yeah.
I
go to that fish market, man. Shout out to the what's the name?
Off the Hook.
Off the hook, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I went there the other day. He wasn't even there, but yeah, I go to your fish market.
Don't meet him
homie.
there, beat him there, man.
Yeah, that's it.
That's him. But just people like that, that's they stepping out of their comfort zone and doing things productive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to.
Why you keep saying you're trying when I see you
I'm
doing it every day?
I'm doing it, but it's a process, and
Yes, sir.
I think I'm doing all right. I
think so too, brother. You're a major influence for a lot of people, man. Every time I bring up your name, man, even on this chat, this live right here, people bringing your name up, man. You got a lot of love and respect, man.
I appreciate it, man, because
So,
I want to be appreciated as being a man.
Yes, sir.
Not the banger. You know what I mean? That comes with whatever, but I want to be appreciated as a person that's really trying to make a difference too. You know what I mean? So
yes, indeed. Appreciate you, brother. I know I do. So thank you for that. Munchie, what you gonna leave the people with, man?
I'm just sticking to the script with the music thing. You know what I mean? Taking care of the baby kids, staying out the way as much as possible, and shout out to the G homies, the G's from all sides, and the active homies too. 'Cause that's the media. When they get together, then it could be some change made with the active homies and the G homies that been through it and got the voice. So what I'm saying, shout out to them from all sides, and that's about it.
Yes, sir. Somebody on here said, man, if I can get that unity together, it'll unify the world. So imagine that, man, if we just go sit down and eat, just 4 individuals on each side, sit down, have a meal, and take the conversation back to the streets, and then next time say, man, let's get 8 people to go sit down. And then a month later say, man, let's get 12 people on each side. Do you know the violence will actually stop? And then, so many people in Tennessee want to be from Rolling 60s, or Arkansas want to be from family. Tennessee want to be from family. I know the Tennessee Inglewood families, they came around a lot. So these dudes will be influenced as well. You know what I mean?
They getting themselves into, man.
No, they don't.
Man.
Yeah, but they'll be influenced to make that change because, shit, they made that change to do this right here. So look, TN, man, you're going to lead the people with something, man. You can just say it, man. I'll repeat it because...
Shit, you got me here, so it's a start. That's all.
All right, look, yep. So that's it right
That's a
there.
good one.
That's a damn good one. He said, I got him here, so that's a start. So I want to lead the people with, man, that shit, there's absolutely no reason for me to kill somebody, man. If I get mad at somebody, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start fucking with them. It's just that simple, man. And if somebody from somewhere else, they ask me where I'm from or don't want to diss where I'm from or whatever, man, bless your heart. God bless you. I'm going to move on about my business and go do my thing. There's absolutely no I don't care if somebody done slapped the shit out of me, man.
Well, that's a lot.
That's a lot, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to blame myself, man. How did I get close to that motherfucker to do that? You know what I mean? I'm going to back up, but I don't have to kill you.
Right.
Even if we get down, man, we can get down. Okay, I need that now. But still, there's no reason for me to kill somebody. So I just want to lead the people with that, man.
Target his broad or something. Take his broad down or something.
Oh, yeah, I can do that,
him.
man. Yeah. Hey, that'll kill him.
No,
That'll kill him.
Yeah, that'll kill him other way.
Yeah, kill him
One
another
thing y'all
way.
remember, everything we do has insight behind it. There's always insight in the things we do, man.
Right.
It's always a hindsight and insight, man.
And then on top of that, too, I got to give credit to Lil Dan from 30s, man. He walked into the room one day and he said, hey, man, do you ever feel like you got cheated out of something? Do you ever feel like you was robbed out of something in life? And I was like, hell yeah. He said, was it an inside job? I was like, man, fuck you. Because it was. Every time I went to jail, every time I'm in a holding tank, every time I was in jail, prison, whatever, it was an inside job. I did that. You know what I mean? So appreciate y'all. Appreciate the panel. Much love. I do got some theme music as we go out of here. But thank y'all, man. And we're going to have that date where we go sit down and chop it up.
Whatever happened to old girl? Nah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, it's like I'ma spit some real shit for y'all right now. It's like, look, like when you grow up in the trenches, it's like society treats you different, man. Like look at you different. It's like, man, you come wrong, now come with it.
Look, they treat you different when you from the trenches. Bitch, I didn't grow up in no burb, I grew up in the village. Tryna get that shit up off the curb, I turned it to a menace. I wasn't hanging around with no girls, bitch, I was hitting fences. Childhood trauma, take it back to about the age of 9. Gunshots sounding like fireworks on 4th of July. I told my sisters and cousins that we gon' be alright as long as we stay solid, protect each other through eerie nights. Childhood trauma, my mama, she worked a 9 to 5. Still managed to come home and feed us when it was dinner time. Still managed to curve on the visas up in the winter time. So back to school, we was popping like the beginning times. I won't let this childhood trauma try to take me out.